Are here. The Green Boys are here.
Green Boys are here, baby.
I know this is going to sound dramatic.
Okay.
But I'm thinking of moving my entire family to Buffalo so I can just officially become a Bills fan.
Honestly, that's valid. Oh, baby. We here. We're live. Brandon Perna, how you feeling this morning?
Like a man whose team will only let him down even when he's going through a hard time himself.
It's true.
You turn to football to forget about
escapism.
A minor cold you're hyping up for sympathy, and that your team can't even help you.
Yep. Let's get some F's in the chat. If I was Scooter, a little R.I.P. Perna, or it's R.I. Perna, like it's just like the Perna, the P of the R.I.P. like leads into.
Get some X's in the chat.
That's it. Like,
you know, cartoons when they put the X's over the eyes to symbolize their death. That's what I want, because that's what it feels like. As somebody who has to continue to root for the Broncos for the duration of the 2021 season.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, even though Brandon Perna is suffering, he's fighting through this cold, and he's going to say, hey, not only did we stream last night, but we here live for GP Mother-Loving Ass, the Grossi Perna Show, which, by the way, we got a sponsor back.
We got him. GPS.
Perna called them up and was like, hey, listen, you know, I'm real sick. I don't know how much time I got left. And DraftKings was like,
sponsor the show now. It's the last chance you've got. I said I had tuberculosis like Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Yes. You got the TB.
I'll be your Huckleberry. And they're like, okay, say no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna. We're here. We're going to talk all about last night's game that we both wound up streaming. And it was fun. Was an interesting. That was fun. The reviews were in, and the stream was great.
I wanted to say, reflecting back on it, Tom.
Yeah,
I really appreciated being able to watch that game with you. It made it far more enjoyable than if I were either just watching it by my, self,
by my lonesome,
or streaming it alone. Because a game like that, you need a little moral support. You need somebody to carry the lows, because there were a lot. There are a lot of lows.
I will be the Samwise Gamgee to your Frodo. I will carry you up Mount Doom, piggyback style.
I want my brushes.
Sometimes I'll throw you over my shoulder. I might smack your ass a little bit, but that's just what friends are for. That's
exactly.
That's it. Comment with fire. Feels like you guys never stop streaming.
You're telling us.
Now you know my schedule.
Yeah, Tom's a machine.
It's true.
Tom is an impressive specimen of streaming.
I would drink oil, but oil's not vegan, so like motor oil. I think it comes from dinosaurs. That's what people tell me. So when they say fossil fuels, I'm pretty sure that's not vegan. Like the dinosaurs don't want me to eat them.
Yeah. Okay. So Tom Brady, 2027. Joey, you might be paying attention to my Twitter, Joey, because I tweeted predicting the next 5 Broncos QBs. I said Case Keenum again in 2022, Andy Dalton 2023, Jared Goff 2024, Jimmy Garoppolo 2025, Matt Ryan 2026. Because it feels like we're taking guys that are veterans that are on their last legs, and that's going to be the trajectory. So
listen, that's it, baby. That's fracking it. Let's get it. Brandon Perna. So now that we do have, I know it's been a while. It's been a while since you did one of the reads for GPS, even though you just did one yesterday for Clickbait Sports.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. Only way to dig yourself out of a hole is to bet money on football. Responsibly, of course.
Responsibly. With a disclaimer.
with what you're willing to lose. Yo, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new customers a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 with their first deposit when you use the code GPS.
A lot of pennies.
That's the code.
A lot of pennies, $1,000, a lot of pennies.
Yeah, that is a billion pennies. So head to DraftKings Sportsbook, the app right now. Download that.
Don't dive into it.
Download it, and then you put it on your phone, which I think is what downloading does.
Yeah, I think so.
You can do some same game parlays, which if you're Broncos, take the under on all of their offensive output. I saw poor Brett Coleman on Twitter posted his parlay, and he had Javonte Williams getting over 65 rushing yards. And I didn't see that till this morning. I was like, dude, I should have told you. You think Javonte is going to get that? Shermer rushed him 4 times in the game. 4 times. So know your teams if you're going to do the parlays. And if you haven't tried DraftKings right now, they're giving new customers $200 in free bets instantly. Some people say it takes 4 seconds. I say they give it to you instantly.
Instantly.
So, GPS is the code. You download the app. There's a link in the description. And if you're into sports, you don't have to do it. Don't feel pressured. But if you want to make the game interesting, which I may be doing for your local drug dealer for the rest of the season. What's that, Tom?
I said, we're not your local drug dealer. We're not going to pressure you.
No, I am a drug dealer, but I only sell coffee because that's a drug.
Yeah. That's fair enough. That's valid.
DraftKings Sportsbook. Do it. Live it, love it, dream it.
No pressure. DraftKings Sportsbook. Do it. Do it right now.
Yeah. I know you just put this up, but this is really funny. Oh my God, Shermer is a train wreck. Me as a Giants fan, first time. Yeah, man, I feel you. I feel you.
You know, it was Mitchell brought this up, and I meant to put this in the rundown, and I didn't, and that's on me.
That's fine.
But did you hear about this? That I think there was a couple of House Democrats that are now calling for the NFL to release the Washington football emails that they uncovered.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, baby. Because I know the fan base has just been clamoring for more politics in football. And I'm telling you.
I like my politics with my sports. Mixed up real good.
I think regardless of political affiliation, because we're not going to turn this into a crap show, regardless of political affiliation, I want to see those emails.
I want to see Colin Kaepernick kneel on the Constitution. I want to see John Gruden email the Bill of Rights.
What?
I want to see...
Just paraphrase it.
I want to see Dan Snyder be a Supreme Court justice.
You know, honestly, he wouldn't be too much different from ones that we already have up there. So that's it. It's fine. But yeah, I'm curious to see if this actually leads anywhere. Because if you look at congressional approval ratings, or I don't know, since there was a blip after 9/11, but it's single digit approval ratings because they're god awful. If it gets to 20%, you're like, this is success. So I don't know if anything actually is going to come of it, but I just thought that was an interesting little note because people were talking about that in the stream last night too. And they're basically hey, this is a thing that could actually happen.
There's also John Gruden might have a course for litigation and suing the NFL. And somebody interviewed him. Forgive me for not doing my research here, but
it's all good.
I forget who it was, but I think Pro Football Talk posted the article. Apparently, Gruden says the truth will come out, whatever that means.
I mean,
and Gruden may be pushing for all the emails to come out as well, but it's kind of weird when you say the truth will come out when your literal emails were exposed.
It's not like they were photoshopped.
Maybe there's more context around it or something, but people are saying that Dan Snyder himself is the one who leaked the emails.
I know.
So I don't know. It's a messy, gross situation, and I can't wait till it gets even worse.
Speaking of nightmare gross situations, the Broncos played football last night.
Oh,
and I'm sorry, I had to do it to you. I was torn a little bit. I was torn because I was like, maybe the Broncos were not completely healthy, right? But maybe they could beat up a very banged up Browns team. Nope. I thankfully I chose the Browns. I chose the Browns to win. But Brandon Perna, I want to ask you a question, plain and simple.
Sure.
After last night, after being unable to beat Case Keenum with D'Ernest Johnson at their running back, is the Broncos season already over?
Wait, did you just say D'Ernest Johnson?
I
My
did.
bench warmer brew player of the week?
Look at that transition. It's like I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I forgot to put the background on it. But
okay.
yeah, our season's done. Look, Broncos fans believe that this team, this roster has a ton of talent on it. And I think that's actually true. I think
too.
there's a good amount of, it's not like a depleted roster. It's not like, oh, we got to rebuild the defensive line. We need to rebuild the secondary. We need to get skilled. Like the Broncos should be a good team. Teddy Bridgewater should be leading them to at least a couple victories against halfway good teams or very injured Browns teams. And when that's not happening, you look to the coaches because you are saying the players aren't in the right positions to make plays. You got to the players deserve responsibility for the blame as well. I swear to my life, my own life, I am swearing on. 3rd down and long, it was like every play last night was a 5-yard pass to Noah Fant, 4 yards short of the first down marker.
39.
Why are you doing that over and over and over again? So, yeah, the offensive play calling is atrocious. There's no creativity. There's no separation. Like you look at the receivers. You're like, where's Teddy going to go with it? He's just throwing to the easy throw every time because either he's scared to throw downfield or guys are covered. And last night, maybe the Browns secondary played their best game of the season. I don't know. But what I really learned is you can have your 2 starting running backs, 2 of the best tandem in the league, out of the game.
Yeah.
If the opposing team has both of their starting linebackers out, that's a wash.
Dude, I mean, I retweeted something today too that D'Ernest Johnson basically messaged, DM'd all those teams. I retweeted it this morning. Did you see that? So there was a news story that in 2018 he DM'd every AAF team. And he made the Orlando team and then popped off. So he literally they screenshotted it of him sending it the DM saying hey, just give me a shot. So it's an awesome story.
Yeah.
It's an awesome story.
So he played for the Orlando Apollos, D'Ernest Johnson. I've got his production there. 64 carries, 327 yards, 2 tugs, 2 fumbles, 22 catches, 220 yards, 1 TD. So look at that. His rushing yards in the AAF for an entire season, 372 yards. Again, last night against an NFL defense, the highest paid defense in the league, he basically gets close to half that, 146 yards in his TD. His best game was 79 rushing yards in the AAF. So he doubled his best performance
in the NFL.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a good story. I root for this dude. I followed the AAF closely. I forgot he was in the AAF, to be honest, but I was reminded last night. Between the AAF and the XFL, and then them not having seasons this season, my brain ain't so good with the memories. But yeah, this is a dude we're rooting for, and as much as it sucked to see it happen against the Broncos, happy for D'Ernest Johnson.
I feel like that's the thing, because Kareem Hunt is going to be out for some time. He's going to miss some weeks. And then Nick Chubb, it looks like he's going to be week to week. So even if he's not getting starting touches, he might be filling that Kareem Hunt role, in which he's going to have opportunities to be hey, can you imagine the Browns having 3 starting running backs? I know it's only 1 game, so I'm not going to overblow it, but he played well. I mean, the cuts were good, able to fight for yards. He looked like a complete back last night. And to your point about the Broncos, that was one of the things that just kept standing out to me. It's okay, it reminded me of when Mike McCarthy was coaching Brett Hundley. When Aaron Rodgers got hurt and he hyped Brett Hundley up to the moon, up to the moon. And he went in there and they just ran the ball and did check down passes. And that was it. Yeah. And it was either we don't trust this QB, and so we're just going to keep calling this kind of stuff, or the talent just isn't there at QB, and he just doesn't feel comfortable pushing the ball downfield. Or like you said, people were just covered.
Yeah.
And I have to think like people weren't covered every single play because it looked like every single time Teddy dropped back to throw the ball, he was jumping it off like 4, 5, 6 yards, and that was it.
Yeah. There's like a misconception about Teddy. Teddy will push the ball downfield.
Yeah.
We watched it in the wins. Like through the first 4 or 5 weeks, he had the most 20+ yard passing attempts in the league. Yeah, I'm going to get that perm. Don't worry.
I'll
be getting that perm. But like last night, he was also injured. So there was a press conference video from this week where he stepped off the podium.
Yeah, and he wanted to die.
Jumped off the podium hopped on one leg, landed on his one good leg, and then he hobbled away. So like he wasn't healthy. And maybe that affected his confidence in this game to push the ball downfield. But when you're watching the game, it looked like he was looking downfield, not liking anything, and then just throwing it either to the running back, who Javonte Williams did end up with like 6 catches. Noah Fant had 5 or 6 catches, all of them for like 1 or 2 yard completions in that game. I'll say this too, like the Browns line still a little banged up. Cam Newton better than Teddy.
I don't know about that one.
Not throwing, but at least Cam Newton would bring some sort of extra like thing you got to worry about.
It's true. You got to worry about his mobility a little bit more.
And healthy Teddy early this season was turning broken plays into something. And we didn't see that. Like he was escaping pressures. He was, getting a first down with his legs every now and then, but he was really escaping pressures and then making some pretty crazy throws to keep drives alive. So it's just all changed.
I think it's just a mix. I think it's like you said, Teddy Bridgewater in the beginning, like a little bit more willing to throw the ball down the field. Now, I don't know whether he's just hesitant, whether it's a short week and he got the crap kicked out of him on Sunday and he's like, maybe I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Or if it's a matter of just like there's so many little things that are wrong right now with the Broncos. It is the coaching, it is the execution, what have you. It is the O-line. It's all these things that is kind of just adding up. Because how many times did he get sacked last night? I feel like he didn't get sacked too many times.
No, but he was pressured and hit. But
I don't care. What is this baseball that's on here?
Who likes baseball?
What's this? I don't want to see this. Team stats. Sacks.
1.5.
Where's the sacks?
2 sacks.
2 sacks. Yeah, only 2. Like it's not. He did get pressured and stuff, but what I'm saying is that like it wasn't like he was getting clobbered back there. So I don't know. I think there's just a lot of things wrong with the Broncos right now.
Yeah, and then he throws that horrible pick in the end zone to John Johnson. Just doesn't see where the safety is on that play, and can't have that.
Is the season over, Brandon Perna?
Yeah.
4
100%.
straight.
100%. Like at this point, wins are only going to hurt who they can draft. Okay? I'm not a fan of tanking. I don't believe in it. But going into like the 4th straight year of feeling like this team is far away from being good, my only hope is like, we need to be in a position to get a QB because they didn't take Justin Fields. And I'm not even saying Justin Fields looks good right now. And we're going to get into which rookie quarterbacks are actually improving. I would rather have Justin Fields out there and be stinking it up with him going, hey, at least I got an excuse. He's a rookie. He needs a chance to get better. Or I'd rather be failing with Drew Lock for the rest of the season because again,
at least then you know
who Teddy is.
Yeah, then right? At the end of the day, like Drew Lock, he had the Drew Lock experiment last year, but he also got hurt. There was so many injuries. There was like so much going on. At this point, like if you're gonna lose, throw Drew Lock out there and see if like maybe he took a little bit more of a step. Like you know what I mean? Like throw him out there, see what happens.
It's not like what's worse, losing with Drew Lock, who's going to maybe turn the ball over a couple more times, or losing as an offense who has scored 20 points in the first half in the last 4 games combined. 4 straight games, they've totaled 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad football.
That's 5 points.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not golf in which the lower score wins.
God, if this was golf, the Broncos
you'd be crushing it right now. You're hitting eagle after eagle.
We'd be coming after the Jets and Dolphins as the best offenses in the NFL.
They want to know if Bridgewater and Locke will both be gone next year. I feel like they're going to be.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if
Maybe
Teddy's
locks-
like, I'm cool if I got to be a backup, you keep
Yeah.
him. Because players like Teddy's like a locker room dude. He's a
Yeah.
veteran with experience.
Yeah.
I would try and keep Teddy if you can, especially if you draft a rookie. But other than that, I mean,
Speaking
again,
of rookies,
it's going to be Case Keenum's going to be their quarterback.
that's it. He's going to come back. He's like, I saw how bad you guys played. I thought you guys needed some help. I got you. Speaking of rookies, you wanted to talk about the rookies and which ones are improving. A little Trevor Lawrence action, Brandon Perna.
So I saw this CBS Sports tweet on Twitter this morning, and I'm like, okay, I know we're going to talk about the Broncos sucking. We're going to preview the games,
Accurate.
but what else should Tom and I talk about today? And then I saw this, Trevor Lawrence, weeks 4 through 6. His QB rating jumps from 60 to 93. Completion percentage up 12. 7 picks in those first few games, just 1. I was like, that's a quarterback who's improving. So I'm like, well, let's look at all the QBs who are rookies and their stats, because we kind of just focus on the rookie QBs
Sinclair.
when they have a great game or when they have a horrible game, right? Like, oh, Zach Wilson was awful this week, or hey, Zach Wilson got the win, played well. Let's look at the body of their work based on stats, Tom, and see if any of these young gunslingers got better.
Leave it. Yeah, let's take a gander here.
All right, so I'm going to put Trey Lance up there, and it's not fair because he has the smallest sample size.
He's played like a game and a half.
So we'll already say inconclusive for Trey Lance.
Yes.
But from his first to second game, 2 touchdowns to 0. His completion percentage went from 50 to 51.72. So
nothing will ever beat that first week.
No.
I mean, what a stud.
And what worries you is like you draft him because of his athleticism. He had 7 rushes for 41 yards. That's okay. His rushing yards got a little more dynamic that second game. So I would say that's trending in the right direction. You want Trey Lance getting you a few first downs every game
you want.
with his legs, especially in the Shanahan offense.
Yes.
But yeah, inconclusive. Jimmy Garoppolo may be starting this week anyway. So,
well, I say again, the one thing I've kept saying over and over again, it's also, I guess, unfair because whatever Trey Lance does, like, it's not going to be the true vision that they're going to have for him, considering 1, they didn't plan on him starting right this second, and 2, all those running backs being Mostert not being there is detrimental because what will make them dangerous because they're a good running football team is when you don't know if Trey Lance is going to throw it or if he's going to run or if he's going to hand it off. That's when you start going okay, considering all the pre-snap motions that they do, and you have Kittle out there who could just block his ass off. You have all these things. We're not seeing his full potential just yet. But yeah, he's a little bit too small of a sample size right now to really give an accurate rating.
So then we'll go to our old friend Davis Mills in Houston. You are welcome, Chris.
Appreciate you, buddy.
We love that you guys love the streams.
Amen.
All right. So Davis Mills looked pretty good in his first game. He looked okay. I mean, it was a loss. But as you can see, he played Buffalo, looked bad. 4 picks in that game, just 11 completions. Then bounced back against the Patriots. You're like, oh, 3 tugs, 0 picks, 21-29.
Yep.
And then Indy comes to town, and he looks horrible again.
Horrific.
Just not good at all. The 2 interceptions. It's like he's got to play bad defenses maybe to be all right. He's in a bad situation as well.
The Patriots, that's what surprised. I mean, the Patriots have also let up a lot of yards. So yeah, I wouldn't classify them necessarily as a bad defense, but I think it's also think about what the Texans are doing. I think just the lack of consistency there because they don't have any all-star players right now on their football team. They'll have guys who they're a pieced together football team, right? It's veterans last gasp at trying to get some money before they retire. Or it's we'll sign a 1-year deal before we potentially go to another team because we do not want to be here. There's all these components that don't necessarily like mesh well together. And so like Davis Mills is like walking out there and he's like, all right, let's see if the car will start today. And sometimes the car starts and sometimes it doesn't.
And sometimes you're in the mafia and there's a bomb in that car and it explodes when you turn on the ignition. Yeah. Davis Mills has been good, bad, good, bad. So he has no trend other than good, bad, good, bad.
It's like the Saints.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the Saints.
But I'll say, thank you guys. Thanks, Chris. Wow, $25 to get better. That's going to cover my Mucinex, which my wife is out getting right now, thanks to Tom Rossi's suggestion last night.
Mucinex gang.
Davis Mills, I think there's some poise. He has some poise because coming back from a 4-pick game and then playing well, to me, that says something about your QB. That says like, all right, there's maybe a lot to work on here, but it's not going to get in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, now we're getting to the money guys.
Oh, boy.
Real guys we want to pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
McCorkle Jones, probably the best start of any of the rookies. Look at that completion percentage through the first 2 games.
Yeah.
74, 73. I mean, he's been above 74. Well, no, wait. In every game except against the Saints.
Correct.
And now that's completion percentage is one of those stats that's nice when you're winning.
Yes.
But it can be very misleading because I think Teddy Bridgewater has high completion percentage. It can also
if you're just
mean
jumping it off
a lot
every 5 seconds, doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, easy throws. But when you're completing a high number of passes and you're getting, say, a lot of touchdowns, like say Drew Brees was doing with the Saints, then you're like, okay, there's something to this offense. Now, in terms of a trajectory, I don't know what to make of McCorkle yet. He looks like a prototypical rookie, a little good, a little bad. His QB rate, 3 over 100 passer rating, which I don't think any of the rookies have had.
No.
And still no 3 touchdown performance from him. I call that a knock.
I feel
I say
on your future Mucinex sponsorship. Yo, no joke. Yeah. I will take a Mucinex sponsorship and I will praise them to the world because they have saved me from bronchitis so many times. And right now I'm going to stall while Brandon Perna blows out his snot rockets. The point is with Mac Jones, I feel like he does definitely have some check down throws. And I feel like there's a good amount of them. But he's also stood in the pocket and gotten his ass kicked before. Like he takes shots and he's just like, it's all right. I'm in college. We can party all night long. So that's fine. But 2, it's that like he also makes some gutsy throws and you see those flashes, right? Zach Wilson, you're looking at him and like he had that one game when you're like, oh, there's those flashes that you want to see. But the vast majority, whether it's because of lack of talent or all the other things, you see a lot of it more in Mac Jones than you do in Zach Wilson. And maybe that's just because he's in a better position to succeed.
100%.
You know, but
if you could put Zach Wilson's athleticism in Mac Jones, I think he would be far and away the best looking rookie quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, better arm talent, better arm strength, and just even a little more wily and mobile in the pocket than Mac. But a rookie quarterback who does do a lot of checkdowns, it's telling you something that he has a mental acumen for the game. Because usually the biggest problem with a rookie QB is they take too many dumb risks in the NFL. They're not used to throwing into tight coverage. They're not used to seeing coverages the way the NFL does it in terms of what is open in the NFL and what is open versus college. College is easy. It's the guy who nobody's covering.
It's the guy who's like 20 yards away from a defender is like, hey, I'm open. Done.
Yeah. So I don't know if Mac Jones is trending like he's getting better every single week, but overall pretty good.
Yes, Mateo. Yes.
All right.
All right. So that's Mac Jones. I think when you put some more weapons around, because who's their number 1 receiver?
Yeah. Is it Jonnu Smith, tight
end?
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like that's the point I'm making. You can't be like, oh, it's Kendrick Bourne or it ain't Harry. Like it's definitely there's such a lack of receiving talent there. And Tom Brady, except for his last season there, like made it work. right? He could take like a random guy off the street and be like, I'm gonna make you into a superstar, because that was Tom Brady. And I think that speaks to Tom Brady. Mac Jones is a rookie, right? I don't think he's gonna be making anyone look like a superstar right now. Like, the biggest thing is that he is improving.
Yeah.
So I think once the Patriots, because I think it was who was it? Was it Tree or Five? I think it was Five who said about like Bill Belichick kind of like losing it, really doesn't have it anymore. I don't think it's that at all. I think he is, a year removed from not having, or 2 years removed from not having Tom Brady. They went to last year, they were just a bad team with such little talent. COVID ravaged through their team. So many players sat out. And now this year, like, they spent a lot of money, but I didn't think they would be competitive immediately. Like, I never thought that was going to be the case. Like, I was like, okay, they could be good. Maybe they sneak into the wild card, maybe. But like, again, they're going toe to toe with the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. So like, I still think that there is like competition there. It's just going to take a while to develop.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of weird money, right?
Yes.
Like, okay, they spent a ton of money on Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. They have combined for 4 touchdowns and less than 500 receiving yards.
Total combined.
Their leading receiver is Jacoby Myers, he was Cam Newton's leading receiver as well. They spent money on Kendrick Bourne, who does have 2 touchdowns, but just 282 receiving yards. He had one 75-yard play, I do remember. But like, they're not getting dynamic plays from those weapons they invested in. James White, he's on IR, I believe, right? Like, that kind of hurts their offense because White's such an important part of it. But yeah, they don't have the weapons, is what you're saying, and that is true.
Yeah, I mean, like,
the N'Keal Harry pick looks so bad now.
Oh my god, dude, it looks terrible. It looks, and like, again, there's the offseason drama of he's like, I want to get traded because I'm not getting opportunity. Like, yeah, no, it's just like, buddy, like, you're not good. It's not working out. I'm actually surprised they haven't released him yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone after this season.
All right,
so
they
can't offload him.
Let's go to old Zachy Wilson.
Oh, Zachy,
who
only 17. Just got his driver's permit.
Yeah, I don't know if Zach Wilson's getting better. He had one decent game against a bad Tennessee defense. Other than that, he's kind of just hovering around the same level of play. And I don't even know if that's necessarily his fault. The one thing he's doing a better job at is taking fewer sacks. 6, 4, 5, 1, 2. So
good job, Zach.
Good job, Zach. Yeah. I think he's in the worst position right now. The Jets do not have any sort of running game to help him out. Like,
oh no.
At least Trevor Lawrence has James Robinson. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Who leads the? I got to look and see if the Jets are dead last in rushing.
Honestly, they have to be bottom 5.
Oh, they're second worst. 74 rushing yards per game, only trailing the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're bad. They're really, really bad. So like, that's the thing too. Like, they invested in the offensive line a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's like amazingly better.
And Mekhi Becton got hurt right away. He got hurt, left tackle. So,
and then you also have a lack of running game, which again, let's look at this. Mac Jones has a running game to lean on, and he does. So that's why I think his stats are a little bit better. Zach Wilson, he is Wilson in the middle of the ocean after he has floated away from Tom Hanks. Like, he's just sitting out. He's like, everyone going to help me? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tom Hanks is Bill Belichick. And
yes.
Is Robert Saleh. Sorry.
No, he's Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has the raft, and he's just watching Zach Wilson. He's like, I can't wait for you to drown. He's like, Bill Belichick is the ocean. He is the literal ocean. He's like, I will engulf you.
Yeah. Poor Zach Wilson.
So yeah, Zach Wilson. And also, he's another one. He has a lack of like receiving threats too. Like, they're okay. Like, Denzel Mims has not developed into what they wanted him to be. Like,
Denzel Mims is the N'Keal Harry of the Jets.
And I really wanted Denzel Mims too. So it's awkward.
Be good? You needed Denzel to be good?
A little awkward there.
If you have the first name Denzel and you're not the best at what you do,
get out.
Got to revoke the name Denzel.
Gone.
I mean,
Done.
Denzel Washington just
Done.
set the bar so high.
He's going to be in that Macbeth movie. He's being in that Macbeth movie. I saw the trailers and I was like, I don't even really care about Shakespeare. But I'm going to watch it. I don't even have Apple Plus. I'm probably going to pirate it. But, you know.
They asked, people are like, who should be the next James Bond? I think it should be Denzel.
Do it. I liked Idris Elba for a while, but you know what? I will watch. You ever see the movie Man on Fire?
Oh, yeah. It's been a while, but.
With a young Dakota Fanning. Oh, man. That man, Denzel Washington kicked all the ass in that movie. And I was just like, Denzel, you're a beautiful man.
Denzel Washington, the best actor ever. He's so damn cool. He's so dang clever. Krispy Kreme, a.k.a. Froggy Fresh.
All right, so the other...
we got to get to the guy who is actually... Oh, wait, we didn't do Justin Fields yet. Justin Fields forever.
Yes.
Justin Fields actually looking worse week to week, but
I just love the 9 sacks. He got sacked 9 times.
Yeah, 9 times in a game. That was his debut, right? His debut start.
I kind of wish the Raiders only sacked him once, and that would be like Justin Fields' way of like trying to call for help with 911. Like, he's just like, this is my cry for help. Like, call the police. Save me from Chicago. They're so bad.
Yeah. He needs a lot of help right now.
An offensive line.
That would be first and foremost. He's probably got the worst coaching situation. Nobody believes in Broncos have a bad coaching situation. So do the Bears with Matt Nagy. Nobody believes in him. They're going to move on from him after the season. You got to find the right guy for Justin Fields.
Keep him forever.
Yeah.
Keep him forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah. I know I want Brian Daboll for the Broncos next head coach, but Chicago makes a lot of sense for him.
Here's what I'll say. The thing that they do have they don't have an offensive line, but what they do have is David Montgomery. Like, you know, he's hurt right now, but like, that's a great back to lean on. Khalil Herbert looked real good against the Green Bay Packers last week. So I think like there's pieces there. The problem is you look forward. He definitely has like good chemistry with Mooney, which is good. Allen Robinson is like
stud.
Mooney's great, dude. Allen Robinson's not gonna be on the team next year. So like, I know that Robinson hasn't looked like the greatest this year. And he's just like, oh, no one good ever throws to me. Well, guess what? Maybe you should have went to the Packers, you a-hole, when you had the chance. So I feel no sympathy for you. Sorry, moving on. You're not an a-hole. It's just like, you know, it's hard to feel bad for you, Allen Robinson. It's hard to feel bad.
I hear you.
And then, you know, I think their defense, the way that I phrase this is when the Bears won their division with the double doink, when they had that whole season with the double doink, everyone remembers. If you don't, I will happily go into exquisite detail about that double doink and how they got bounced out of the wild card. That'll be another time. Anyway, what was really good about that team is you're like, wow, that defense is unstoppable. And Mitch Trubisky's like, okay. And it wasn't like the Mitch Trubisky window that you had to worry about closing. It was the window on the defense closing. Contracts like Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, right? Eddie Jackson. And then other guys that you had, Amos, thank you again for him. You have all these guys, and that's the window you worry about closing because the Bears are staying in these games because their defense is so good, especially that defensive line. Yeah. Imagine not having a defense and still having that Bears offense. Like, that's the window you have to worry about. And that's something that maybe that's why they're pivoting a little bit more to the offense to make them, they did that in the draft, making them kind of an offensive first team. But it's going to be interesting to see. I wouldn't trust Matt Nagy to lead that rebuild, but I will happily watch them as they burn. So I'm okay.
Burn to the ground. Tom Grossi will be king of the ashes.
That's it. Oh, yes. Well, Aaron Rodgers will be the owner of the ashes.
Yes, the Broncos could beat the Washington football team. Mildish Nidorino. I like the score prediction, 13-4. Washington gets 2 safeties against the Broncos to make that happen. Plausible.
Yeah.
What was one more here? If the Broncos started lock this year and we played all the same teams with Teddy as QB, we would go undefeated. That is all I have to say. I don't believe that.
I was like, how much do you actually believe the statement that just came out of your mouth?
You would be succeeding in different ways with Drew Lock, and you would be failing in different ways. That's the way I'll put it. All right, let's just wrap this up because there is one guy who is getting better, and his name is Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick, proving why he was the first overall pick. Week to week, the dude has shown improvement. It is the perfect
home improvement
trajectory.
It's
one of these, Tom. It's where it's going up. Slowly, steadily.
It's like that game on The Price is Right with the yodel guy.
Yeah.
Is he going to fall off the cliff?
Yeah. I love it.
That's the question.
I mean, the Broncos gave him the most trouble week 2, back when I still believed. But
back when I still had hopes and dreams and aspirations.
Yeah. Going up. His interceptions going down. He is getting something out of James Robinson behind him. He won in London town with kicker Matthew Wright is his name. Matthew Wright.
Yeah, it was if loving him was wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Yeah, exactly. So just shout out to Trevor Lawrence getting better week to week in Jacksonville.
In a bad team, in a bad situation, with a bad coach, with a bad owner. just bad.
Yeah. But we use that excuse for those other guys, Lawrence, defying those. So let's, we'll maybe take a look at this again, say in December, see where some of these guys are. But
Brandon Perna, I got a quick question for you before we wrap up this segment.
Yeah.
So we just went through every rookie QB.
Yeah.
Which one, if there was any of those, out of all the rookie QBs, on what team would one of those rookies be the most successful? Would it be like Trevor Lawrence in San Francisco?
Oh.
Would it be, Trevor Lawrence even in Chicago?
I would like Justin Fields in San Francisco, actually.
Okay.
Let's see here. Any teams in the league you could send them to?
No, out of the rookies, the teams that have rookies. And if they were to swap rookies, who do you think is going to find the most success? I feel like if you put Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields on the 49ers,
any of them to the 49ers, basically.
Yeah. I honestly feel like Trevor Lawrence might be able to do, if Trevor Lawrence is able to do what he's doing in Jacksonville, I feel like he'd be good with Chicago too.
Possibly,
with the defense, have a strong running game, what they have it with Robinson. And he actually might hit Allen Robinson. I think Lawrence would be pretty good in Chicago. But you don't have him.
I mean, wait. Let me I'd put Trevor Lawrence in New England.
Oh, that's a good call.
He would be killing it there, I think.
He probably would. I honestly forgot about the Patriots for a second.
Because he's got the arm talent to get the ball anywhere. That's what stood out. Even when he was playing crap against the Broncos.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy can get the ball anywhere. And he was not accurate, but you could tell if he was being accurate in that game, it would have been an issue.
I agree. Brandon Perna, we got some games to take a look at week 7.
Woo!
But I'm pretty sure there's an ad read that needs to occur as well.
Oh,
he's got his thing. I love that throwback. I do.
Oh man, I got this at the Broncos tailgate, the Breckenridge Brewery. This is not the ad read, but they gave this to me after I did the beer challenge. Hell yeah. I wore this around all day, and I feel like it made me look like an old man.
I feel like you could also, if you tuck the hair back a little bit, I feel like you could look like a child who hit puberty way too early. You're 16 years old and you're just like, I got a full beard.
I got the Jack disease.
My God. Yeah.
DraftKings Sportsbook, guys. Let me tell you, these guys don't mess around.
What an intro.
Right
I'll
now,
put up the little disclaimer.
Oh, yeah. Give me that sweet legal disclaimer.
Yeah. That's what everyone wants to see. That's what they're here for.
Got the best legal disclaimer of all the sports books. I'll tell you that.
The best language.
Down. We said we want to work with DraftKings because of their legal disclaimer.
We're like, hey.
Perfect. We had 30 lawyers look at this thing, and it is airtight. Are your bets going to be airtight this season? No. Guarantee they won't. You will make some mistakes that you regret. But if you use our code GPS over at DraftKings, they're going to match your deposit bonus up to $1,000. So they're giving you free money to play with. The best type of money to play with is free money. Same game parlays. You can make the game super interesting. Those are fun. Again, I've been horrible with them, but maybe you'll have better luck than me. Yeah, Breckenridge. It's a whole town in Colorado.
It's a whole town. It's not just a brewery. It's a whole town.
I actually got that name because my buddy was like, I wish people would just go back to naming their kids like normal names. He's like, we just had our friends name our kid like Breck.
Like, wait, so that character's named after one of your friend's kids?
It's like a friend of a friend. So I don't know.
A friend's kids.
I feel fine.
I have to imagine they watch the show. They don't, but I imagine they watch the show and they're like, "Yeah, it's my
Why
name."
did we name him that? Anyway, DraftKings will give you $200 in free bets instantly if you sign up with GPS. Our link is in the description.
Oh yeah.
Use code GPS. All new users will receive a deposit bonus up to $1,000. DraftKings, safe, secure, reliable, so you can get your money at your convenience. They're never going to hold it from you unless you lose it. Obviously, you can't get your losses back. So don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Don't be silly gooses.
DraftKings, supporting your football navigation system.
Boom.
Don't DraftKings while you drive, though.
Don't do that. No, you can listen to GPS while you drive as long as it's like, on your phone. You're not watching. You're just listening to the sweet sound of our beautiful voices. That's okay. Anyway, speaking of, let's talk about some games here. And I will say, there's only, maybe I'm looking at this.
Dude, the games this week suck.
Dude, they suck. Like there's two games I'm looking at. There's the Bengals-Ravens game, which I think has the tendency to be really good. That could be a lot of fun. And then the Chiefs and Titans game.
Yeah.
And then like maybe Sunday Night Football with the 49ers and Colts. That could be like a sneakily good game.
Yeah.
But
it's fitting that the Broncos-Browns kicked this week off on Thursday Night Football, and it was atrocious because not fun football this weekend.
But I will tell you, we talked a lot about the Broncos. Let's talk about the Green Bay mother-loving Packers taking on Wildflower and taking on the Washington football team. The Washington football team, folks, has given up the most points in the league. They are dead last, 186 points. They've only played 6 games and have given up 186 points. Green Bay Packers going to take advantage of that. They got the 21st ranked offense in scoring. Packers maybe starting to get a little healthy. Kevin King practiced. Darnell Savage went from out, is limited in practice. Preston Smith, unfortunately, did not practice. And David Bakhtiari is back practicing. And he went on Instagram with a filter on, and he was like, I'm back. So I was like, yes. Oh, yes. Voice modulator and everything. It was phenomenal. Tight. I loved it. I don't know if he's going to play on Sunday because we're not going to look past any opponent, right? But the big game for the Green Bay Packers is Thursday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. So if Preston Smith got to sit out or Savage got to sit out, okay. Let's just put it this way. I think one of the most disappointing things about this season was how quickly and how bad the Washington football team is, because they dropped off a cliff. They went from being one of the best defenses to now they're dead last in points allowed. That's a fall from grace quickly.
They win the award for biggest liars of the offseason. They lied to us all about having a good defense.
They did.
Like, can you think of a different storyline that was more incorrect heading into this season?
No.
Like, there's not a single one that is as drastically horrible as this one.
Yeah. You know what? Considering how hyped they were, because like the Rams, they definitely taken a step back. Like you look at the Bills, a little scary on Monday night. But like Washington, like I almost drafted them in fantasy as a fantasy, like a defense, but no.
Yeah, this is like watching the Patriots lose week 1 back when Brady was there and thinking Brady was washed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, this is a good one too. Chiefs were going to be good.
Ooh, yeah, that one's still going to happen though.
I think unfortunately they're still going to make the playoffs.
That's what's going to sting the most, yeah. Kirsten.
That's the LQ. That's the Lord Queen. So yeah, we got that game. We talk about Bengals and Ravens. I think that this is a standout game because the Bengals have been playing pretty darn good football this year, going up against an AFC North divisional opponent. And listen, can you imagine if they beat the Ravens at home? And I think at that point, they would take control of the division, I think.
Yeah. It's basically the Bengals versus Lamar Jackson. It is Cincinnati. Defense is not getting talked about enough. They're
Underrated.
keeping this team in games. I don't know if that defense can stop Lamar.
That was
Like we've brushed on MVP candidates, and in my opinion, right now it really should just be Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry as your two front runners as MVPs, because I think they mean the most to their team's success right now.
Mm-hmm.
And not a single team has figured out how to slow Lamar Jackson down. So I'm concerned that the Bengals are going to fall victim to Lamar next. But Joe Burrow, that's a guy I would kill to have as my quarterback.
Sure.
He's like the rookies we just talked about. He went into a bad situation last year, and he looked phenomenal.
He looked
tears
really
his ACL, comes back, continues to look really good. And now, given Cincinnati's got some weapons, they got some nice receiving weapons. They got a running back. But Joe Burrow's good, dude. Like, that's a guy you could probably put on any team and he would make them better.
Correct.
And that's rare when you're talking about rookie quarterbacks right now in the NFL. So it's going to be a fun game. It's one of two fun games I foresee. Chiefs at Titans being the other game that might be good. I just don't trust the Titans to follow up their great victory against the Chiefs.
That's what I say. They came off like a really big win, and it's kind of like, can they do it again? By the way, real quick, I had to do some quick math. That's why I was looking at my computer so intently.
That's all right.
I just want to throw out some stats for you. Okay.
Yeah.
In the last 5 weeks, 1,303 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception, an average QB rating of 117.08. You know who that is, Aaron? You know who that is?
Lamar Jackson?
That's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
So I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers, ain't nobody talking about him in terms of MVP, but my man is crushing it. Over 1,300 yards in the last 5 games, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception, crushing it. Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, I just wanted to
double check. Now, Aaron Rodgers is always just an MVP to me.
You're always an MVP to me.
Like, Aaron Rodgers has to play. Like, he's one of those guys that has to play better than an MVP level because you expect him to be an MVP. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Gallo? That's a great point. We didn't even talk about the Giants-Panthers. That's going to be... I can't wait to see that. I'm so glad I live in New York just so I can see this game instead of the Packers in Washington. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, here we go. No, that was my one little stat.
The Packers game if you can't watch it.
I have NFL Sunday ticket. The problem is it's delayed. So like there's a good like minute delay. And so everyone's just like touchdown and they're still hiking the ball. And I'm like, yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's frustrating to say the very least.
Yeah.
And the big thing, and alluding to our title here, Matthew, you know what's funny? In my predictions, I hyped up that it was Matthew Stafford's playing against Detroit. And I totally forgot about Jared Goff, who was playing against the Rams because no one cares. Like even Dan Campbell, like Jared Goff is probably like, oh man, I'm going to play well. And Dan Campbell's like, sure you are, buddy. Sure you are.
Yeah.
I think Matthew said, I think he could throw for at least over 400 yards against this banged up Lions secondary. I said it last night. He's going to picture every single person on there as Matt Patricia, and he's just going to freaking torch them. He might run for 1,000 yards just on Sunday. Just like,
yeah,
it's fine.
I think like if you're actually looking for maybe something to bet on, in my personal opinion, I would take a look at the Matthew Stafford over-unders for like passing yards and passing touchdowns. Because I agree with Tom. I think he's going to have a big game. I'm not saying it's a safe bet, but it seems like he needs to show Detroit that he was a caged bird. And this beautiful bird needed to spread its wings and fly and sing. This is a singing flying bird.
It's a singing bird.
That's what? Whoa.
Oh, that was a mating call. Oh, hey now.
And
bird just hit my window.
I kind of feel bad for Jared Goff because Not as bad of a quarterback as people think. He did get to a Super Bowl, which Stafford has yet to do, but not a quarterback who's going to elevate his team. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yes, you do, Aaron.
Yes, you do. And my heart.
You do. You own my body, Aaron. You can do whatever you want with it.
Whatever you want. You almost said the exact same thing. Listen, I want to do over-under. How many taunting penalties does Matthew Stafford get on Sunday for teabagging his former teammates? It's just like, hey, look where I am, guys.
Calvin Johnson should come out of retirement
just to play for the Rams.
Yeah, and convince the Lions, like, hey, I'll make amends with you. I'm going to come out of retirement. You've got to release my rights and then go sign with the Rams.
That'd be amazing. That would be incredible. I would greatly approve of that.
Oh, here, maybe you can help me out with this.
I got you.
You follow Transformers? You know
Robots in Disguise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Calvin Johnson's Megatron. Will Keys and I on the podcast yesterday were trying to figure out if Calvin Johnson's Megatron, who is Cooper Kupp if he's a Transformer, you know what I mean? Different style, different body. I think we landed on Megan Fox or Michael Bay because Will and I didn't know any Transformers. Oh, no, we landed on Shia. We called him Shia.
You know, I feel like you could do a little Bumblebee action. You could do Starscream. Starscream could also.
I like just the name.
Starscream is great. Oh wow! So you asked me this question with absolutely no context or have any idea what I'm talking about. Okay, I got it. Professor Chaos. I'm sorry. Yes, get the MVP, Perna. That's what your team's been waiting for. It's what he's been waiting for. Just saying. Just.
I almost put Trubisky in that tweet too, which is really funny. Oh.
But yeah, so I think Bumblebee is a good pick. He's a solid pick. But yeah, Starscream might be.
Starscream's awesome.
He was like kind of like a little henchman to Megatron. So like if you're going that, I'm cool. I know.
Starscream, Cooper Kupp.
He could be a Dinobot, maybe.
Because 2 Coopers, 1 Kupp is not a
Shockwave. No, Shockwave, I feel like is Aaron Donald. Shockwave, like that's the perfect name for him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that we talked about this. Real quick, Sunday, you do have the Colts versus 49ers. I put it on there because like I feel like it could be it's being played in Santa Clara. If Jimmy G starts, I don't know. I just have a feeling like it could actually be a fun game. They're two weird teams. Like, are the Colts actually like decent now? We don't know. I don't think they know.
They lose their safety, Julian Blackmon, this week. Sure. That hurts.
It does not. That's not a good thing, no.
But Carson Wentz playing under
good football.
The radar, good football right now.
Yep. You know what? Is it too early? It's too early, but is he comeback player of the year? Because think about it. Who else would get that title? Maybe Joe Burrow? I mean, Joe Burrow because he was hurt last year. Like, would that count maybe? Or do they just give it to Alex Smith every year, even though he's retired?
Yeah, it should just be called the Alex Smith Award at this point.
Yeah. Joe
Burrow's in that mix.
There's literally a Transformer named Cup. Okay, well, that one wins then.
Oh, really?
I don't even... KUP. Transformers.
Transformer Cup. Oh my God.
He looks boring, though.
Yeah, so does Cooper Kupp.
You know what? Valid. Yeah. Okay. All right, fine.
Cooper Kupp looks like a guy who
Dak Prescott. That's a good call for comeback player of the year. Sorry to interrupt.
Who?
Dak Prescott for comeback player of the year.
Cowboys are off our radar because they're on a bye week.
I just imagine like Scooter bursting through one of our walls right now and be like, did someone say Dak? Just like his ears just ringing.
Did somebody say Dakota Rain Prescott?
Oh my. Oh, yes. Stafford comeback player of the year from coming back from Detroit.
Oh, love it, Kirsten. Love it.
Yes.
I want to tweet that.
That's money. That's money. I love it. Brandon Perna, we made it through another show.
We did it.
We survived. We did it. folks, we appreciate you tuning in. I know, a lot of people showed up to the stream last night, which was fantastic. I had a great time.
It was fun.
Appreciate GPS. We'll be back on Monday, of course, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time.
All right. I'm going to hit end. Am I in the clear, Tom?
Well, hold on. Ready? You've been navigated.